All right, let's get right into it. You ever look around and see certain people who just seem completely immune to trends? While everyone else is hopping on the latest thing, they're just doing their own thing, totally unfazed. Well, we're going to explore the really fascinating psychology behind why that is.
I mean, it's a question we've probably all had at some point. You see the viral TikTok dance, the new it fashion item, that gadget everyone has to have. And yet some people just seem to be on a whole different wavelength. They're not swayed, not even a little bit. And it turns out the reasons are a lot deeper than you might think.
And this is where we start to bust some myths. It's so easy to look at someone and think, oh, they're just being stubborn, or they're totally out of the loop. Maybe even that they're just trying to be different. But the psychological reality? It's something else entirely. We're talking about a highly developed sense of self, real mental strength, and being guided by an internal compass instead of all that external noise.
So where does this all start? Well, it really begins with this incredibly powerful, super fundamental human drive for personal freedom and control over our own lives.
Okay, so autonomy. It's this deep-seated need we all have to feel like we're the ones calling the shots in our own life. Now, for people who tend to ignore trends, this need isn't just there, it's exceptionally strong. So when a trend stops feeling like a fun choice and starts feeling more like a social pressure or a command, their brain immediately flags it as a threat to their independence. And that feeling? It kicks off something called psychological reactance. You can think of it as your brain's automatic defense system for its own freedom. The second you tell someone like this, you have to do this, or everyone's doing this, their mind doesn't just resist, it actively pushes back, hard, just to prove it's still in control. And this quote just nails it. It completely flips the script on social pressure. So instead of that fear of missing out, or FOMO that so many people feel, they experience this powerful drive to do the exact opposite. It's their brain's way of saying, loud and clear, hey, I'm still in the driver's seat here. Okay, so let's move on to the next major piece of the puzzle, because it's not just about resisting what's on the outside, it's about being actively guided by something on the inside. This right here shows the critical difference. You've got your external locus of control, where someone looks outside for validation, social media likes, public approval, what everyone else thinks. They kind of need that feedback to feel relevant. But the person who resists trends, they operate from an internal locus of control. Their self-worth is built on their own standards, their own values. They don't need the crowd's thumbs up because they've already given it to themselves. And this is what leads to real, genuine, independent thinking. Instead of just blindly accepting what's popular, their brain acts like this amazing filter. It asks questions like, okay, but does this actually make my life better? Does this style really feel like me? And if the answer is no, if it's just an arbitrary label without any real substance, their brain just doesn't see a good reason to waste any energy on it. And finally, this isn't just some passive thing that happens to them. It's actually an active, very conscious decision to protect their own mental and emotional space from all the chaos that comes with trends. Think of it this way. Psychologically, our emotional and mental energy is a finite resource. It's like a battery. And every single choice we make about where we put our attention either drains that battery or helps to recharge it. And let's be honest, constantly chasing trends can be pretty exhausting. This chart is a perfect visual for that choice. People who ignore trends are, in a way, deciding to invest their limited attention, their battery power, into things that genuinely bring them calm and add value to their lives. They're intentionally tuning out all that noise and cognitive overload that comes from trying to keep up. So when you put all of these pieces together, a really clear picture starts to form. Resisting trends, it's not about being stubborn or difficult. It's actually a powerful sign of a really well-developed and secure mind. So just to recap, we've walked through 5 key traits: that high need for autonomy, the mental pushback of psychological reactance, having an internal locus of control, being an independent thinker, and of course, being a master at protecting your own peace. And this is really the big takeaway here. If any of this sounds like you, it's not a sign that you're weird or missing out. From a psychological standpoint, it's actually a sign that you have a very stable sense of who you are. You're not easily swayed because you're already anchored to yourself. So it all boils down to this one simple but really profound question. Are you living by your own rules, or are you living by the crowd's? It's a great thing to think about as we all try to navigate a world that's constantly telling us who we're supposed to be.